Well, Cheryl, thank you so much for having me again. I truly appreciate your ability to let me in your classroom and listen and learn from you from the last observation. So this time, as we talked about before, you're willing to let me come into your classroom and demonstrate to you a few things.
Sure.
Okay. My thought was to expand upon using some of the activities I've learned so that you can see some differences that you didn't use this last time with keeping with the fluency strategy. So in that, I'm going to use Reader's Theater as my lesson and incorporate the use of some characters and different scripts so that they can see, the differences of how to talk and to keep it fluent. I'm also going to use a word activity to, again, expand what you've already done with your prefixes and suffixes. I'm actually going to ask them to find words they don't know, so they're unfamiliar with them.
Okay.
As far as my assessments, I think it'll be obvious when we see what they're doing, being able to choose words that they don't know. They're going to have them, they're going to write them, they're going to define them, they're going to put them up on the wall. It's more observational than anything. I'm also going to ask that while in this lesson, we're going to have a role reversal. So the last time I was answering some questions while you were teaching, I'm going to ask that you answer some questions while I teach.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what that's going to look like is on this sheet. What you saw the teacher do, what you saw the students do, what you heard the teacher say, what you heard the students say.
Okay.
So you're just going to give me some points as far
as you're conducting the lesson, I'll be taking some notes in these 4 areas.
Correct.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. The role during the class time will be that I actually demonstrate and model the actual reading of the Reader's Theater script, and then, of course, doing the word activity with them, too. Okay? And we agreed that it will be on May 6th, just tomorrow, during the 6th hour, correct?
Yeah, we're ready for you.
Great, I can't wait. I'm excited. Thank you. To kind of expand on what you guys have been working on with Ms. Lotto, I'm going to give you another type of activity to help with your fluency. Now, fluency we've talked about before, so you all know how to be fluent. Is that correct? Yep. So tell me what you think fluent means. Okay. What else do? Well, when you read a story, do you have just a nice, easy tone? Are we breathing into continuing on the path, right? When you're reading a story, you also have to have characterization in your story. Do you think? So you know that if an exclamation point is at the end of a sentence, what would you do? Right, make it like exciting. If you're ending a sentence with a question mark, what would you do with your voice? How might it change? Right, your inflection changes, it goes up. Today, we're actually going to read a story with all of us. Okay, it's called Reader's Theater, and what we're going to do is actually, each are going to be a character. It's called Casey at the Bat. What do you think this is going to be about? Baseball. What do you think? Baseball. Baseball. Good. How many of you like to play baseball? Have you ever played?
Softball.
Yeah. You've never played baseball? Oh, I can't wait to tell you some things about it. Have you ever played baseball?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you don't have to like it, but knowing something about it is going to help you with what this is pertaining to. So when I say Casey at the bat, and some of you who know baseball, what do you think that might mean? Okay, so you think it's a girl. How many of you think it's a girl, Casey? I don't know. Could be either one. That's interesting, because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this could be either way. That's interesting. Okay, they're up to bat. What do you do when you're up to bat?
Swing the ball.
You what?
Hit the ball.
You hit the ball, okay? So when we're up to bat, we're the ones who are going to get the runs that inning, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? Have you ever watched a baseball game? Nope. Man, we gotta get you on the time. All right. What I'd like you to do when you first look at this story is actually scan through it and highlight or underline 6 words that are not familiar to you. Okay? So words that you might not know or don't really understand is really what I'm going. Okay, so count 6. You're welcome. Welcome. And don't forget about the back side of the page because it's looking over. Well, as you can see, I have the line up here of all the characters. We have fans 1 through 6, and their numbers are here, so this is fan number 6. I have the umpire, and I have the back. So, there are 8 actual players, and I know that we have a little bit of 9 today. So one person isn't going to actually read this time, except for when it says all. But then we're going to switch characters, so everybody gets a chance to at least read through one time. Would you like to, if I said, who would like to be fan number 6? Do you want to just, you guys want to pick who you want to be? Okay. Anybody want to be fan number 6? All right. How about fan number 5? Thank you. All right. Fan number 4. How about number 3? 2. Fan number 1. Any takers? Can I just...
Come on.
Ah, thanks, David. Oh, so
Thank you, David.
don't worry, we're going to change it off so you don't have to do this. Alright, who wants to be the umpire?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then Casey.
Casey.
Casey. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, so if you would take a look through the script and notice when it says number 1, that means fan number 1, all the way through the numbers. C is Casey, U is the umpire. Okay? So your job right now is to go through your lines and make sure you, first of all, can read through them and then decide how you might want to portray it as far as your characterization is concerned. Because remember, when you're reading through this kind of thing, it's more interesting for those who are listening to it and watching it to have some kind of reflection like this. Okay? So I'll give you maybe a minute to look through it, and then we'll do a read through and practice it and then perform it. So we are reading Casey at the Bat. It is a poem. It's from the late 19th century American. It was from Thayer. Thayer was the original poet. Was first published in the San Francisco Examiner, June 3rd, 1888. Wow, that's a long time ago. Versions common today, including this one, include changes by later authors. Fans serve as narrators and act as spectators. For best effect, place all fans in the center. Well, if we were actually standing up and doing this, I'd probably put you all in the middle. With its tongue-in-cheek melodrama, this poem works best if you ham it up. What do you think ham it up means? What do you think, Donna? Have emotion. Yeah. Put characterization into it. Okay? So, let's begin. Who starts us off?
Philip experienced Rocky for the Mount Mudville 9 that day.
The square was 2 to 4 with but 1 inning left to play.
So then Cooney died at second, and Burroughs died the same. A parlor weathered the features at the distance of the game.
A straggling field got up to go, leaving the rest was that both that springs and eternal from the San Andreas west. For they thought it all easy could get a ride like that. They put out an engine for the east side.
But where does Casey?
And the former was putting.
Oh, wait a minute, you missed it, right? But Flynn preceded Casey. Look at number 6. Who's got number 6? Did you feel that it was as fluent as you might have liked it to be?
No.
Why not? No, you were listening because you were listening a lot. So tell us what you heard. You were listening and following. So go ahead, tell me what you heard. It's okay.
Well, there was a lot of them. It was just something that changed.
Okay. So maybe our inflection wasn't really there because we were concentrating so hard on what the words were. That was the first read, so it's always difficult to do it right off the bat. Get
Right
it?
off the bat.
I got it. In any case, when you were reading, for instance, you said you saw baseball being played, right? Or you played yourself? So you know what the umpire sounds like, right? You're the umpire in this. Does he go straight one? How does he do it?
Yes.
It's okay.
They say it really
You can do
weird.
it. Ready? Strike one. Is that better?
Yeah. They say it like that.
Okay. Well, doesn't it give it some personality?
Yeah.
Let's try it with some personality. If you're having a hard time following where you are, it's okay to take your finger because I know that the numbers are coming in pretty fast, and in order to keep the movement of the phrase going, you need to come in with that timing.
Is it really that?
In this case, it's a boy.
Because I saw him. I saw him, and then on the front page, I saw that. So I thought it was a movie.
Well, also think about the time period. Did girls play baseball back at this time?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
No. So it probably was a boy. Okay, now we can be kind of gender friendly, but it probably wasn't in the time. Okay? And for right now, say it obviously. It is a man. Boy. So let's go back and do it one more time. This time, keep your same characters so that you're now familiar with it, so you can maybe have a better phrase of it. Okay? And let's try it one more time. Your expression. What characterization? I heard somebody say, what was it? Kill the umpire. I think that was good. That was awesome. When you're all saying those words together, fraud. I should hear more than fraud. Right? And that whole, all the fans gasped. I did it. Now look at me.
She did really quiet.
What are you doing?
I was gasping. All right, try it again. Ready?
Look at strip of hockey for the Marville night that day.
The score was 2-4, with but 1 inning left to play.
So when Cooney died at second, and Burroughs died the same, did the same. Carler weathered the features of the patrons.
What?
Strike one. Is that good enough?
The bench is black, with people there wearing a muffled roar like the beating of
Hang on.
Like the beating of a storm waves on the stern and distant shore.
Kill him! Kill the Empire!
Someone shouted from the stand. And it's likely they had killed him. And not Casey raised his hand.
with a smile of noble charity, great Casey's visage shone.
He stilled the rising comrade. He baited the game on.
He signaled to the pitcher.
And once more the sphere flew, but Casey still inward. And then Peggy
Oh,
Go ahead. It's all you.
okay. Strike two.
Fraud!
The cries abandoned through thousands.
And the echo answered,
Fraud.
But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed.
They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey would not let that ball go by again.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lip.
His teeth are clenched in hate.
He pounds with cruel vengeance his bat upon the plate.
And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shadowed by the forest and gives the
Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright.
The band is playing somewhere. Somewhere hearts are light.
And somewhere men are laughing.
And somewhere children shout.
But
There is no joy in my brain.
Spidey Casey.
Has
Struck out.
Does everybody know what struck out means?
Yeah.
Let's explain to our friend who doesn't know. When somebody strikes out, they don't hit the ball and they're out. It's a bummer. For especially the batter, the team is all the best. That was so much better. I loved your characterization.
Yeah, be sure to like strike out.
That was good. Okay, I'm going to give you each a piece of paper. And what we're going to end up doing is taking your vocabulary word, putting the word on. You're going to tape it to the red piece. Underneath it, you're going to define it.
Thanks.
Okay? So whether you use the context clues that are in the story, what you think it is, what I'd like you to do is think about what you think it is, and then actually check the dictionary to make sure it is correct. Okay? And then write down the definition underneath. You can either do it one of two ways. You can put the word here and then define it on the back like this. So when I flip it like this, I can see the definition. Or you can do the definition on the red. I'll let you decide how you want to make it look. What we're going to end up doing is probably put it on the wall so you guys can see. It's going to be like a little word wall for you. Word walls are important because every time you see the word, it makes you think either about what you read in the story or, do I really know what that word means? We see a lot of symbols and words and things, and when you put them all together, it makes sense. And sometimes when you look at things, they don't. So I want you to feel like, oh, I know what that word is. Okay. How many did you get? 3? You did a nice job reading. Was it hard? No, not really. Pretty good.
I had 4. I forget how many words there were.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You highlighted as you didn't really understand what it meant.
Okay.
When you read through, a straggling few got up to go, leaving here and rest. Can you figure out what that means just by what you read? Straggling few. What do you think? Okay, you think it's one word. I'll look it up. That's right there.
What do we do after we get the name in there?
Okay, you're going to try and define them. You're going to find the meaning, whether it be in the story or now that you've read the story and understand where it's at, using the context clues to figure out the meaning. And then you're going to check it against what the meaning really is to see if, did I get it or didn't I? Okay? And then you're going to write the definition underneath. Okay, so that's T, right? And if you need a dictionary down there, let me know and I will get it to you. That's fine. Okay, well, Cheryl, thank you so much for having me come into your class again and demonstrate the lesson on fluency. They seem to really connect with the story and actively participate because of their prior knowledge of baseball. Is that something you saw as well?
Oh yes, they loved it. They loved the pre-reading, the participation that you encouraged. Talking about fluency, and then Reader's Theater, you really introduced it, and they had fun with the fans.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that that would be something they could actually not only know who was doing the reading at that part, but identify with the character maybe a little bit more than just off the paper. When preparing your lessons, is that something that you think about? I think about how can I make this connection into something they know. Is that something you do as well?
Oh yeah, all the time, because if you don't kind of build up to what your main reading activity is, you might not get all their interest. This way they're buying into it more and they get to make a personal connection.
They were learning actively when they had an opportunity to discuss what fluency sounded like after the first time we did the reading. Does that fit with your sense of what was going on?
Yeah, of talking about fluency, and I noticed the second time they read through it, they listened to some of your suggestions on how to make it come alive, really. I mean, the first read through, they wanted to make sure they were getting the words, decoding the words correctly. The second time through, they're adding the inflection, emphasis, volume, and really they're getting into it the second time through.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was impressed with the students' willingness to try this reading activity. I wasn't sure if they had done something like this before and how comfortable they would feel in front of each other to actually make it come alive. Have they done this kind of activity before?
They've done some short plays earlier in the year, but not to the extent that you had it, with the different sticks with the fans and showing whose role is whose, and I thought that was really good, something I would like to try. It just kind of organizes it better.
Great.
Gives them cues when to start reading. And
yeah. They were a very respectful group. Is that typical?
yes, typically they're very, very eager to try things and to participate. They're very hands-on, which again was great for when you had the fans, and so it was more than just reading. They did a little more active participation there.
Great. Were there any questions you had for me about my lesson? Any wonderings that you had?
No, I thought everything went great, and they did extend the activity the following day by presenting their words with the baseball, the flips. I thought that was great. How you write the word on the front and flip up the definition, so then they got the chance to go in front and choose the words they wanted to choose to present to the class. They had fun with that. Yeah.
Great. That sounds like an awesome extension. I mean, obviously, that's what you always want to do, is build those connections and push it a little further the next time you go do it.
And they also compared their word choices with those of their partners and the other group members at the table. So they were wondering, oh, what words did you choose? You know, they were really into seeing if they came up with the same words.
Oh, interesting. Well, again, I appreciate your time, and if ever you would like to have me come in and coach you once again, please let me know.
Yeah, that'd be great.